traction you're seeing within that tractor segment, Mr. Madan? Give us a sense. And can growth sustain in terms of Q4 and Q1 FY27? Give us a sense of that.
Yeah, good morning. So I think as you've seen in the last few quarters, obviously after the GST cut was announced, so the growth has been very, very high. So we've seen that happening now in the last quarter too, where the growth was almost 23% in the industry domestically. And in January, again, we've seen almost 43% growth coming in the tractor numbers on the industry side. So we expect the momentum is continuing. So there are many factors besides the good monsoon which we had and coupled with the GST cut and some of the state subsidies which have been announced, which is actually fueling the demand. And that momentum is continuing even now. So we expect Q4 will actually be very decent quarter. So we think 30-35% growth is possible in this quarter too. And clearly the momentum will continue in Q1 as well next year. Even though the growth may not be as high as this level, but still it's likely to be double-digit growth in Q1 too.
Okay, and FY26 industry volumes are pegged at around 11.5 million units. What are the demand triggers outside of GST that's giving you confidence? Are you seeing rural income recovery? Are you expecting monsoons to largely be better going forward? Is that where the positivity is likely to come from going forward?
I think the rural sentiments had started going in prior to GST cut. So if you look at the first few months from April onwards, even in this year till August, before the GST cut was announced, the industry had started showing their signs of growth. It is going at a double-digit level. Although growth was low at 10-11%. But post GST cut, obviously this got a further impetus and it started going much better. And then after that, we also seen, like you said, some of the subsidies which have been now announced by some of the state government, like Maharashtra, Sikkim, and Andhra Pradesh, is also coming with a similar scheme. So that is also, further pushing the demand. And this is obviously almost 2 years now of a good monsoon. So obviously, as of now, the water reservoir levels are quite good. So which also gives some confidence at least the next crop season will be good. So even if there's a negative impact of, say, El Nino, which has been heard about for the next year, so still at least for the first few months till July, August, we expect the growth momentum will be good. And after that, since we are already sitting on a very high base, so maybe we will see some sort of correction may happen in the second half of the next fiscal.
Right. Mr. Madan, also wanted to understand about your exports because they've had a very impressive growth of about 63%. Significant contribution coming in from Kubota Global Network. Tell me, how scalable is this momentum and can exports become a structurally larger share of the overall volumes over the next 2 to 3 years?
Well, definitely, Escorts has been giving a lot of focus on export, and Kubota is very keen to use India as a sourcing base for the global requirements. But if you look at the overall numbers, I think domestic still remains the larger part for us. Export is only 5-6% of the total volume which comes from there. And even in the next 2-3 years, we don't expect that to really become that significant. Yes, it will continue to grow, but so will be the growth happening in the domestic side. So I think overall it will still remain maybe somewhere between 8-10% in the next few years. And we are aiming to take it to 15% level in the next 5 years. I think once the greenfield is up and running, we think the export numbers will start picking up from there. But still remain lower in compared to what you have on the domestic side.
How many new product launches going forward, Mr. Madan? Give us a sense of that.
So it's a good lineup for this calendar year. So I think we have now multiple launches which will come up across all 3 brands which we are using. So I think it will be exciting time ahead because whatever the product gaps are there in various brands, we are making sure those get fulfilled during this calendar year. So we see slow of launches which will happen. 4 or 5 launches are planned across various brand categories. So we have completely revamped all the portfolios.
And talk to us about what the FY27 outlook really looks like. CV demand has been strong. I mean, this is well known now. Can the demand sustain is what I'm trying to understand of the higher base that we're currently working with.
So I think it's too early to talk about the full year guidance right now because we don't know how the monsoon really pans out. So if you really see a good monsoon, maybe you will still see a growth. But like I said, since still August, before the GST cut was announced last year, So the base is low, so maybe we'll continue to see the similar momentum will continue, and we'll have some growth coming in at the first few months of the next fiscal. But from September onwards, when the growth will be, went very high to the level of 30-odd%, so then obviously sustaining on a very high base next year will be slightly difficult. But if the monsoon is good, we can even have minor growth on top of that. But if the monsoon is not really that good, then maybe some pressure from the second half next fiscal. But overall, I think we still expect it will be a positive year next year. The growth level may be different, but I think it will be a positive year.
Okay. And Mr. Madan, your margins have gone up by 310 bips thereabouts. One is, of course, raw material prices for you have been decent and have aided the margins. Talk to us about how much of this is operational efficiency and how much of this margin can you hold? Of this margin increase can you actually hold on to?
So one of the key reasons, obviously, the operating leverage in this quarter, with the volumes and the industry numbers were the highest for this quarter ever. So that is one factor which is played. And if those volumes and level of industry is not at that level, then definitely that will have some impact. Plus the softness of commodity continued in third quarter too, as far as tractor business is concerned, so which really helped in improving the margin. But now from Q4, we are looking at some pressure that started coming on the commodity side, especially in the construction equipment. We are seeing the pressure has come on the steel and the copper and aluminum prices are also going up. So it has some impact on the material cost front. So this really can have some impact on the margin unless we pass it on to the market, to the customers, going forward. But definitely we'll be having a wait and watch scenario. The volumes are comparable to what we saw in Q3. Maybe we'll have and the margin which will be comparable to what we achieved so far in the first 9 months.
Right. Okay, Mr. Madan, great to have you today on ET Now. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Aisha.